scrappy people, it's Tracy Reed here today, coming at you with an unboxing of my brand new My Story Matters collection, and I am so excited to bring you this collection. It is such a work of heart, and the colors, my goodness, you guys, the colors are just like my love language. So I posted a selfie a few weeks ago now, talking about how the caption talked about how our stories are important and taking the selfie is important, and writing down the story and what you're feeling and how what you're doing and how like everything is for you right now is so important, because what would we give if we could have a glimpse into our grandmother's lives at our age? Like, right, if we could just like unearth this beautiful scrapbook of our grandmothers and the way that they lived and how they felt and the struggles that they went through and their successes and all of the things that we hesitate to document in our own lives, because a lot of times we struggle with what I like to call female guilt. And we don't like to take pictures of ourselves because it feels vain. And we don't like to tell our stories because we are mothers first. And so we need to tell our children's stories and all of their successes and accomplishments. And we are always put on the back burner. But as my children have grown older and their stories are fewer and farther between, because they're teenagers now and they don't share as much with me, and they're not as involved, or I'm not as involved in their day-to-day life as I used to be, I really come back to telling my own story and my own successes and my own struggles and my own feelings, as a way to sort of keep my creativity flowing, but also like my story is important. My Story Matters, which is the name of this collection. And someday someone is going to pick up all of these scrapbooks where I have told my story and dealt with my struggles, and they're going to appreciate it. And so even if they don't, I appreciate getting the story out. So this is what this collection is sort of designed for. So it is a large collection. It has 20 patterns, of course, as usual, and they come in 12 by 12, traveler's notebook, and patterned card size, both 4 by 6 and 3 by 4. There are 2 sets of journal cards. There is a set of traveler's notebook signatures, since you guys are loving those so much, and there is over 100 stickers in this collection, plus the digital kit, of course. So let's start unboxing this collection. Let's start with the patterns, because I always like to start there. That's actually where I start designing as well, because the patterns are so important to the collection. They are literally the foundation of the entire thing, and so they are the first thing that I design. So again, the patterns are available in 12 by 12, traveler's notebook size, which is 4.25 by 5 or by 8.25, and then also patterned card size, which if you buy the pattern cards, you get both 4 by 6 and 3 by 4 sizes. These are the 4 by 6s, obviously, and anything that has a specific orientation on the printables also comes with the alternate orientation. So if we look here, they're going to be around here somewhere. We have, here we go. We have hearts in 4 by 6 and hearts in 6 by 4. And they are also sized down to fit the size of the paper. So the 4 by 6 and 3 by 4 cards are smaller. The patterns are smaller than the traveler's notebook size, which are smaller than the 12 by 12 size. So let's look at these in traveler's notebook size. So this is my absolute favorite pattern in the whole collection. If you look at it close, you'll see that it has pens and pencils, florals, and then a book with flowers growing out of it, which I think really fits the story theme. Then there is a 12 by 12 that has the plus signs in the top and the bottom corners, but on the traveler's notebook size, they're just in the bottom corner. This is a fun hand-drawn pattern just something tonal and a little bit more interesting than a solid paper. Large navy and white stripe. And then of course a diagonal tonal green. I love this shade of green, this foresty, not yellowy at all, sort of blue-green. I love these cameras. There are 4 different cameras in this collection. There are actually more than 4, but there are 4 main cameras in this collection. You can see there is pink, yellow, green, and blue, and they all have different florals attached to them. A chevron in rainbow. Leaves. God, this green is so gorgeous. And you can see that there's also distressing on these papers. Some of these papers have a newsprint sort of tonal distressing on them. Here is a heart on blue. I went a little bit different than my norm with the patterns in this collection, and I did create some multi-tonal patterns on colors other than white and navy, which is super fun. Yellow tonal pattern, yellow tonal floral, which shows you the floral pattern, which, oh my gosh, you guys, look at this beautiful floral on navy. I kept my florals a little bit smaller with this collection because they are just so pretty in this dainty size. Yellow arrows on the diagonal. I love this goldenrod color as well, so usable. Okay, so this dot is super fun. It kind of reminds me of a notebook, like a composition book. This is multi-tonal. Then there is a double grid on the lighter pink. Hearts on coral. I love these outline hearts as well. They're a great different take on the hearts than the blue paper. I love these florals on stems, a little bit of a different vibe than my normal floral. Then a pink dot. And of course, you know, I couldn't do a collection without a plaid. So this plaid is super fun because it is rainbow, so it lends to this really fun sort of springy vibe. There are navy V's, and you can see the distressing specifically on this paper, where you can see some of these V's are faded out a little bit. And then look at these beautiful pens and pencils with the watercolor splotches on them. Such a fun pattern. And then here are all of the colors. I actually didn't print out one of the pinks, the lightest pink, but this is the color palette of the collection. It's so fun, springy without being pastel, can take you all through the year because really this is a super universal color palette. All right, so next let's talk about the Traveler's Notebook Signatures. This is a new-ish. I have offered these before, but I haven't offered them regularly. A new-ish addition to the store. They are Traveler's Notebook size, so you can insert them directly into your Traveler's Notebook super easily, or you can incorporate them into your layouts. There are 12 in the pack, and there's a combination between journaling and word bits and patterns that are different than the patterns in the actual Traveler's Notebook paper. So the florals are in different colors, or there's, you know, a different take on the patterns if I include patterns in this collection. So I love this one. It says, "This is what I'm doing with my one wild and precious life," which I think really fit into the storytelling vibe of this collection. We have scallop with a blue double grid. I love this one. It says, "The best things in life are the people you love, the places you go, and the memories you make." And this is a stripe that is not included in the regular papers. And then this is a super fun floral. We have, oops, I didn't trim this one down very well. We have florals in each corner with pens. Oh, and look at this cute, cute camera paper. You can see all the different cameras in this collection on this paper. You can fussy cut these out or insert it directly as it is. So here's that yellow floral in pink. Next we have plus signs in either corner. So if you were looking for that sort of framed in vibe, you can get them in the Traveler's Notebook papers, or Traveler's Notebook, the Traveler's Notebook signatures, not the papers. So I have a stripe of all of the different tonal patterns in the collection, which you can cut apart if you want, or you can keep it just as it is and use it as a background paper. I loved this pen paper, so I also included it in yellow, and it says, if a picture is worth 1,000 words, how much more is the whole story worth? Because I am a true firm believer that the photo is so important. I literally cannot scrapbook without a photo, but the words are just as important as the photo, because if you think about it 20 years down the line, who is going to know what was happening in that photo if you don't write it down? Then we have the floral on green instead of blue, and I love this. I fought with myself over which one to include as a paper and which one to include as a Traveler's Notebook signature. Love this green floral so much. It has a little label on it. This says, I am a storyteller and no one can tell my story like I can, with that beautiful book with the flowers growing out of it. And lastly, hearts on white, so you can use this for journaling or you can use it as a background for your scrapbooking. Next, there are 2 sets of journal cards. All have a storyteller theme. There are 2 4x6s and 8 3x4s per journaling card pack. So let's look at the 4x6s first. We've got pens with a journaling strip at the bottom. And this one says, she is magic and chaos wrapped up in poetry. I didn't want everything to be completely storytelling themed. I also wanted some a little bit all about me themed. My life is made up of coffee dates and heartbreaks, moments to cherish and things I wish I could forget. But the good, the bad, and the ugly are all mine to tell. And if I don't, who will? Journaling card. This is my story to tell. This makes me so happy, with those fun hearts. Another journaling card with a floral around the outside edges. My top 10 list. Live, create, tell the story, repeat. And then a journaling card that you can cut apart and use as labels or keep it as is. The second journaling card pack also has 2 4x6s and 8 3x4s. This says more self-love. You can also cut this down to a 3x4 if you wanted to. This one as well, you could cut down to a 3x4. Journaling card that says, this matters so much to me. All my mistakes were just rough drafts. A floral with a label. I love this pen paper. It says, or this pen card, it says, tell the story and write it down. Selfies are a valid form of self-expression. I was born to tell stories. It's all in the details. In the end, we all become stories, which is a quote by Margaret Atwood from The Handmaid's Tale, which seems a little morbid, but I really love the quote. Last but not least of the printables are over 100 stickers. You get 3 full sheets of stickers when you purchase the sticker pack. It comes with a combination of journaling labels, tags, word art, titles, and icons. So there are lots of labels. This one says, but first, let me take a selfie. Let's get these up in the corner so that we can make enough room. Leave your heart on the page. There are lots of little different florals in this collection specifically. Another tag. This one says, seriously the best. Look at all these cute little flowers. the story behind the photo. Here's the whole story, and this deserves to be told. Snapshots of me today. The funny part, some more labels. Open book, and it says tell your story. Get these out of the way. The happy part and the hard part. So we've got the funny part, the happy part, the hard part. So you can tell different stories. I also have numbers 1 through 5. 1, 2, where are the rest of them? They're around here somewhere. We'll pull them out. Another open book with the florals. Then we've got each of the cameras in the collection as well. Got pink and green and yellow, or pink and blue. This one says take the selfie. Some scalloped tabs. Here's some more of the florals. There are lots of florals and lots of hearts, lots of icons, which are sometimes neglected in especially digital collections, but I made sure to include a ton, which makes it so much easier to scrapbook. Look at all these florals. Oh my goodness, there's so many. Lots of florals, lots of hearts. Both the patterned hearts, the half and half hearts, and the outline hearts. Here's another book. This is just a chapter, not the end of the story, which is always good when you need a more hopeful layout when you're not feeling real well. Some more labels, scalloped tabs. There's the 3. Here's the pink camera and the blue camera. So you can see all 4 cameras now. Hearts and florals. So many florals. I love them. There's the 5. Hearts, hearts, hearts. All the hearts. A lot of icons in this collection. There are also the pens and pencils. And so there are 3 blank pens and pencils, and 2 that say like tell the story, just like that card. I love the outline vibe of those pencils versus something colored in. I think it's a little bit more neutral and will be easier to tell the story that way. There are a bunch of these word bits that say a new chapter, turn the page, more of this, important. And so you can see how the book theme kind of goes with the rest of the collection. Here are some more pencils and pens. Lots of word bits as well. We're gonna run out of room. This one says everyday storytelling. Today went like this. Thankful for this story. My story is just beginning. Recorded, noted, documented. My story. This says everyone has a chapter they don't read out loud, which is perfect for a little bit of scrap therapy if you need it. Love this. Our story. New chapter, who this? This is an important part of who I am. I'm running out of room, so we're going to start overlapping. I love this photo of me, which I think is so important for getting into the habit of scrapbooking selfies. For the record, we've got 2 talk bubbles. And lastly, a real smile. It's not too late. Capturing the moment. Oops. Capturing the moment. Sharing your story is a gift. And then the last heart. Ran out of room, so lots and lots of overlap here. But you can see there's over 100 stickers in this collection. And so there are tons and tons. Let's hop over to the digital collection and talk about that. All right, so here you can see we have the My Story Matters digital kit. It comes with a ton of fun things, including the 12 by 12 papers, 5 complete stamped alphabets, and over 80 digital embellishments, including lots of fun titles and flowers, labels, and all of the illustrations, of course, but they are packaged differently than they are in the stickers. So there's newsprint backed illustrations. There are illustrations that look like chipboard. There are digital flare and a bunch of other fun textures that digital scrapbookers love to use. So you can pick up the My Story Matters collection at tracireed.com or sweetshopdesigns.com. There are links in the description box below. If you enjoyed this video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and subscribe. I would love to have you. And if you don't already, you can follow me over on Instagram. I'm at Traci M. Reed.